This is big breaking emergency news. We now have government insiders warning us that we could see something very big happen right now, and you need to be getting prepared for it. You need to have your preps ready. You need to have your stockpile ready. You need to have a generator ready, and you also need to be getting out of these major metropolitan areas if you are directly in these cities, right? And that is what insiders are warning right now in the government. We also have insiders warning us potentially what happens in Baltimore, with the port of Baltimore, with this ship. We have a insider warning us that this could have been an attack on our country. All right, so we're going to dive into all this news. This is big. You need to be getting ready and preparing. Even if you have plenty of preps, get a little bit more, because your neighbors are going to need it. They're going to come knocking. They're not watching these videos. They're not seeing what's going on in the world like we're seeing it, and they're not seeing these warnings. But this is just the start. All right, so really quick, hit it up for me down there. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I'm posting multiple times a day, keeping you guys updated on this big breaking news. All right, let's dive into this here. You can see here, all right, this is an article that was just posted by Bloomberg News, and it was picked up by Yahoo News as well. You can see here it says cyber threats to U.S. power grids escalating as election approaches. Right? I've been telling you guys, this is potentially what we're going to see in 2024. And now Bloomberg is reporting we're going to see threats to the U.S. cyber threats to the power grid as we get closer to the election. So we could see a big blackout before the election. And if something like that happens, it could be a major issue for our elections to continue. If there's something like this. All right, so they're warning us, guys, and we need to be getting ready, and we need to be taking these warnings serious. All right, this was a government insider that's warning of this. So let's get into this warning here. This is big, right? And they're not just putting these warnings out for no reason. They tell us. They always tell us what's going on. It always happens a few months later. That's what people don't understand, is that I'm bringing you the warning a little bit in advance. Maybe a couple of days in advance, maybe a couple of weeks, maybe a few months, maybe a year in advance. But I'm giving you the warning, and it's going to happen soon. And we also have an insider warning us about the shipping situation as well with the ship, what could have happened with it. And I was warning the day before this happened, the night before, hours before the ship crashed, I posted a video and I was warning that we could see remote takeover of things like planes and critical infrastructure and use it to potentially attack critical infrastructure inside the US, right? And then what did we potentially see just yesterday? All right, so let's get into this warning here, then we'll get into that warning as well. You can see here, though, it says U.S. power grids are facing heightened risk of cyber and physical attacks as the election nears, according to the nation's top reliability regulator. The increased threats come from state-backed hackers, as well as the type of physical assaults that happened at North Carolina substations in late 2022, said Jim Robb, Chief Executive Officer of the North American Electric Reliability Corporation, which sets federal standards. This is NERC, all right? They are warning us, and the Chief Executive Officer is warning that we could see attacks like in North Carolina, right? And if you don't remember what that was, people were firing at these substations and caused massive power outages, tens of thousands of people, for their power to go offline for days because people were physically attacking these substations with weapons and firearms. All right, very serious, and they're warning this could happen again in 2024. He also went on to say, quote, "We are anticipating a fairly active year on the security front," Rob said at an Electric Power Supply Association conference in Washington on Tuesday. All right, so this is big. This is the head of NERC, and he is warning. This is a federal government agency, and he said we're going to see attacks like this, cyber attacks and physical attacks. And combine this with our country is wide open. This is a massive national security risk. We could already have the foreign military units in our country ready to be activated to take out our electric grid and our power grid. And that's what he is essentially warning of. All right. You can see here as well, we're getting insider warnings about what's going on with this ship. All right. So the headline here is saying that investigators are looking into dirty fuel. All right. So that could mean a multitude of things. It could just mean bad fuel from supply chains, right? They filled up somewhere with bad gas standards, all right? Just filled up with junk. That can happen. That's even happened to me in my truck before. Got bad gas and had to drain the tanks, drain everything out, and refill it back up. Major ordeal when you get bad gas. Definitely could cause major issues, but it already stopped at the port in Baltimore. It already checked in and went there. If anything, when it filled up, it would have filled up in the United States in Baltimore. So the standards should have been there, all right? And they're also warning that this could have been a cyber attack as well. That's what one of the CEOs of this shipping company said, all right? And this bad fuel, who knows? It could have been sabotage. They could have intentionally put the wrong fuel in, or bad fuel as well. All right, but you can see here, this is what Ian Rowby, the CEO of IR Consilium, a maritime and resource security consultancy, said. All right, he said that this could potentially be a cyber attack. He said in the case of Dolly, Rowby said the possibility of cyber attacks should not be dismissed. It's also possible that the ship had a purely mechanical failure in one of its critical systems. All right, so he is saying that the possibility of cyber attacks should not be dismissed. And one thing that people aren't really catching on the terminology here is that they said that this is not terrorism, all right? Which, okay, that's fine. But they never said this is not espionage. The terminology they would use here, they even came out, the DOJ, and charged a bunch of Chinese hackers for hacking U.S. critical infrastructure. And the codes and terminology they were charging them under were espionage. So, essentially, foreign spying and subversion. So that's what they were charging them on. They weren't even charging them under terrorism charges. So if this was some kind of cyber attack or cyber hacking event, it would not be classified under that. It would be most likely classified under a cyber crime or a foreign espionage crime. All right, so that's something that it doesn't really say much when they say, oh, it wasn't this. Well, it could be something else that could be even worse. All right, so just for them to say that doesn't really, it's not really any solid proof that nothing happened. And check out this video. All right, ships are already piling up inside or outside the port of Baltimore. Ships are already piling up. And the reason why this is happening, all right, people are just saying, oh, why don't they just turn away? They didn't hear about the news. Well, a lot of these ships are too big to go to other ports. This is a massive port. This is one of the reasons why they account for 25% of all the automobiles, because it's a massive port and they can process the biggest ships, right? And this is not accounting for right now that also we have the Panama Canal is under extreme drought and causing massive slowdowns. We have the Suez Canal under extreme pressure from the Red Sea situation and the Houthi rebels with Yemen. They are attacking ships. It has caused global rerouting of ships going through that part of the world. All right, it's slowing down shipping that way. And we also have the Panama Canal in extreme drought. Now we have the port of Baltimore shut down. And also, New York, people are saying, why don't they just go to New York or somewhere else? New York's harbors, they cannot process this size of ship. I believe it's called a Supermax, something along those lines. I can't remember the terminology off the top of my head. The largest ship capacity that they have. It's something along those lines. And when the ports and the harbors were built in New York, these ships were not even made yet. Right? So, and this is a problem with other canals and passages around the world as well, is that only certain passageways can process these massive ships, and they're being shut down, like the Suez Canal, Panama Canal, now the Baltimore port. Sorry about that if I said Boston. Baltimore port is now shut down. And New York, they can't process a lot of these big ships that need to go there. So that could be why we're seeing ships piling up. And this is massive. This is a major crisis for our country. And we could see these shortages piling up, right? They're going to hit. This is affecting food, fertilizer, coal. Everything's being affected from this right now. And it's going to hit your wallet. It's going to hit your wallet. It's another hit to our economic situation, right? Everyone's already barely above water right now. And now we have to have more hits, more strain. All right, so whether this is an accident or not, this is a direct hit. This is a simulated attack. Whether it's a real attack or not, it has the effect of a real attack, right? We're going to see the same consequences, whether this was intentional or not. So make sure you're getting prepared, guys. Make sure you're getting ready, right? They're warning that we're going to see big stuff happen going into 2024. That is what government insiders are warning right now. All right, so get prepared, get your generator, get your gas tanks stocked up, get your water tank filled up. I've been having just a real heavy feeling lately that I need to do more. I need to be doing more. I need to be preparing more. I need to have more stockpiled. I need to make sure everything's topped off at all times. Right? I've had this heavy feeling, almost like a burden lately, that I'm not doing enough. I need to do more, and I need to be more prepared and be ready. Because everyone can feel it. There's something big going on behind the scenes, and something big might happen very soon. Everyone can feel it. Everyone feels it. I've been feeling it for a while now, but it feels closer than ever. All the warning signs that we've been waiting for, all the major red flags that we'd be like, this is it. We are now entering it. We've already hit all those. All those signs have been hit. All the flags have been raised. We've already passed. So now we're in the middle of it. We're in the middle of it right now. And they're telling us that something big is going to happen in 2024. Remember, something big happened in 2020, and it changed everything. Do you remember? And it's kind of part of the reason we see what's happening right now. A lot of it is a consequence of 2020. A big percentage of it, everything that happened, a lot of it is related to that, the chaos that we've seen the past few years, right? And if we see a major situation like this, it could change everything again. This could be the great reset. Do you remember WEF Klaus Schwab warning of the cyber pandemic And he said it'll be much worse than anything we've seen before. He said 2020 will seem like a minor inconvenience compared to the cyber pandemic that we will experience. All right, he also warned last year at the World Government Summit that there's going to be a major black swan event happen. All right, and if you don't know what that means, that's just a out of the ordinary event that really flips everything on its head that nobody expected and really turns the tide of everything. Right? So, and that could be it. We could see the solution might be to implement digital IDs, internet IDs, digital wallets, cyber attack on the banking system, all this stuff, cyber attack on critical servers, they're just gone, wiped out, holds all the information for the banking systems, whatever it is. It could be anything. And the solution might be to come in with a CBDC, central banking digital currency. We've been talking about this, how they announced this just recently with SWIFT internationally, right? That's going to be their solution. Come in, that's how they're going to say, hey, this is how we will prevent people from accessing our internet, our systems, all this stuff, is that we will have internet IDs. We will know exactly who did it because our internet will be closed off and firewalled. So only people that are access to it, they know exactly who it is. They know your ID. They know what you're doing. No anonymity for internet, for purchases, anything like that. It's all going to be related digital ID, digital wallets, and internet ID. They're going to try to roll these things out. And it would be perfect if there was a major attack on the banks or something along those lines. It would be the perfect situation to implement this new agenda that we know is being developed in the background. All right, so please hit it up for me down there. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, guys, to help get this video out. People need to know about these warnings, and people need to be ready. All right, I'm worried that what happened in Baltimore is just the start. Just the start. All right, so get prepared. Hope you have big blessings for your life, your family. Do a little bit more. Do some more on your homestead. Take on a new project. Get a little bit more preps. Learn a new skill. Do something. That's the feeling I'm feeling right now, a sense of urgency. And it's good, right? Not scared, prepared, right? Not scared of anything. I just want to be more prepared for what comes next. So don't be scared of all this. Be prepared and be ready. And the sense of urgency is good. Lights a fire under your butt sometimes, and it motivates you to get things done quicker and to move faster and to get projects done that you need done, right? So use this sense. If you're feeling any kind of anxiousness or anything, use that, put it into action. That means your body, you're restraining your body from doing action that needs done. That's normally what anxiousness is for me, is I'm not doing something that I know needs done. And then once I start physically doing it, moving my body, literally physically doing things, then a lot of it goes away. Physically go work on the garden, physically go feed the chicks, go build another chicken coop, right? These are the things that calm my nerves and all this. So hope you have big blessings, guys, for your life, your family, your homestead. And I hope you have a big old blessed day.